finding you on my iPad and we can make a start. Okay, there you are, lovely. Okay, welcome everyone to my Monday morning live craft along. Hope you've all had a nice weekend. It was live last night, so not too much has changed here. I've had a little tidy up. You can kind of see some of the chaos behind me as I prepare for a team event in 2 weeks' time, which is really, really exciting. So I always like this bit. I always enjoy putting everything together, so it's quite nice to see everything laid out. All the projects are made, they're all laid out in piles. I think I know what I'm doing, so yeah, it's starting to feel a little bit more organised. Last night it was a bit chaotic, so okay, let's get started. A few people are joining, which is lovely. This morning I thought I'd try something with the Pattern Party Designer Series paper, and carrying on with those Give It a Whirl dies, which are really, really popular at the moment, and I can see why. So I'll make a start. I'm just going to swap my grid paper over because it's a tad mucky from last night. Let's just flip it over. Good thing is it's got two sheets, two sides. So I'm going to flip my camera around and we will make a start. So let's just do this. So an almost, well, it is a clean piece of grid paper. Great thing about the grid paper is it is double-sided. Have I slept or have I stayed here all night? Jane, it actually feels like I've had a really good night's sleep. I finally finished all the projects yesterday for our team event, so I felt like I had a really good night's sleep. But yeah, it's quite nice. I'm out here last night in the dark and now I'm in the sunshine. Darren's off with the girls to see his parents. And I've got some work to do, so I'm trying to get it all done today so I've got the rest of half term with them. So last night we used the Give It a Whirl dies, we used the clouds, and we made these two cards. If you missed it, this is what you missed. So I used a little bit of a blending brush to create this background with, believe it or not, a torn piece of copy paper like this. And we just moved it at different angles to create that little background. I've added my clouds and our little floaty penguins that are floating along, and I added a bit of Wink of Stella to those clouds. You can see it better now in the daylight, the shimmer on there. I love a bit of Wink of Stella. And then we did a little bit of a spotlight style technique with this card where I added the same background pattern to the circle, and then our little penguin, he's still floating along. And I showed you a few little techniques with those large sentiments. So that's what we did last night. In this set, we also have some heart dies, which are just here. Okay. Oh, can't pick them up. My nails are getting too long. So I'm going to use these two today. I want to show you what I'm going to do with these heart dies. Morning, Linny. Oh, it's so nice to see your beautiful face popping up there. I hope you're well, my lovely. Linny is a good demonstrator friend of mine. She's very talented. Don't tell her that though. So I'm going to use some of the tailor tags as well. And I've run out now officially of normal basic white cards. So the delivery is coming tomorrow. I think I've got 12 packs coming tomorrow. So I've just got to get me to tomorrow. But thank goodness I finished what I needed to do yesterday. So I'm going to make a little bit of a different size card. And this is going to be similar to my card class for this month. I'm going to make some bigger cards. So I'm going to make some square cards. Let's go with 15 centimetres, shall we? So I'm going to cut this down to 15 centimetres wide. Finally getting to watch lives, enjoying the bank holiday. Oh, lovely. Nice to have a bit of time off, isn't it? And the weather's nice as well. So I'm going to score it at 15. And then I'm going to cut it. I think even 15 is too big. It is too big, look. Deary me. Let's go 14 and a half, shall we? Let's start again. I'll save that for a rainy day. Right, 14 and a half it is. I knew there was a reason why I didn't use 15. Okay, thank you for saying that. Looking forward to seeing what you make. Oh, I don't even know what I'm going to make yet, Leon. I've got an idea. So let's turn it round. 14 and a half. And 14 and a half and 14 and a half is 29, isn't it? See, I can do a bit of maths on a Monday morning. Okay, that's what I was going to do, just testing you all. So it's a nice size card. It's a great size difference to the normal size cards that I tend to make and what you tend to see demonstrators make. And let's give this a little score. Lovely to catch you on a Monday morning. My list is ever growing with all the things you're showing. I'd love to say I'm sorry about that, Louise, but I'm just doing my job. So now I'm going to use some of this because I do love this paper. This is my absolute favourite piece in the Pattern Party pack. You've got a nice green the other side, nice bright colour. But if you follow me regularly, you'll know how much I love a black and white. So that was 14 and a half. Let's take it down by 2 centimetres. I'm going to do 12 and a half. 12 and a half. And we'll cut that square as well. Yeah, that's good. And then I'm going to bring this other piece of basic white back in. And I want to cut this down so that it is, I want to make it a little bit bigger, so let's go 12.8. So I'm just taking that up by 3 millimetres. Okay, so that fits just nicely on there, and I'm going to stick that down. Use my Seal Plus. I must admit I do prefer the Seal Plus to the regular seal. It feels a lot easier to use. Okay, so that is my piece for on there. Okay, now I want to cut some hearts. Where are my hearts? Here they are. So I've got some hearts and I'm going to cut that out of, where's the other pieces that I had? So I put things away, boys and girls, and I don't even know where things are now. Okay, so let's cut some hearts out of, should we go with that blue? That blue's quite nice, isn't it? What's on this one? So here are some of the designs. That feels too busy, too busy, too busy. Nice, but too busy. So let's go with this blue. And I want to cut few out. So let's use the mini, shall we? Love this little mini guy, the Baby Boss. So I hear a lot of people calling it. I haven't used this for a little while, it's been on my shelf. So this is the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which I am a big fan of. Now obviously that piece of card paper is too big, so I'm just going to trim that down slightly. Should be able to get all of our hearts out of here. You need to use the DSP more often. I seem to have it and I never use it. Louise, I completely know what you mean because I used to be like that. I was almost too scared to use it because if you use it, it's gone. But yeah, I definitely am a big fan of our designer series papers. Especially this pack. This pack is, I can't stop using it. Okay, so this is the lovely hearts. And you've got a little bit of stitching, which you can, oh there, you can see it now, a little bit of stitching around the edge. They're really special, these hearts. There's 3 different sizes in this pack. Put that on first. I haven't used my mini as I don't want to mark the plates. Aren't we a funny bunch? Things that we don't like using. Do you know what I don't like using, Nicola? I don't like using new packs of dimensionals because they look lovely, all in a fresh sheet. And then you take that first one off and then do you use them in lines? Do you pick them at random? And then they just look a bit messy, don't they? So yeah, we are a funny bunch. But I do understand why you wouldn't want to mark your plates. My for my card class this month, there was over 1,000 die cuts that I needed to do. So I enlisted my husband to help. I enlisted my husband. I said, oh, do you mind helping me? I've got a lot to do. And, you know, we're just sitting watching a film. We could be doing this together. And all right then. So I gave him, and I'm a bit mean, I gave him new plates to use in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we all know, as soon as you use them the first time, they make a big crack, don't they? And his face, it was a picture. And I said to him, oh no, you've broken it. And he was panicked. But no, I wasn't too mean for too long. Okay, Louise, these heart dies are from the Give It a Whirl set. There really is so much in that set. So last night for the penguins, I used the clouds. And tonight I'm using the hearts. And this one is also in there. This lovely scallop circle, which is really pretty. And then Louise put, yes, exactly, hit the nail on the head. I hate cutting it up, and I love to look at it, me too. There's nothing nicer than opening a new pack of DSP. So I want 9 of these. How many have I got? I've got 5, 4 to go. Let's cut another string. I think as well, because the turnaround on some of the designer series papers is quite, the window's quite small, isn't it? That if I don't use it, I end up with so much of it. So, but I have been known to buy a pack to use and buy a pack to keep, which my daughter loves, because once it's retired I don't want to use it, so she uses it. 6, 7, hope you're all counting with me. But this mini does make light work of this. Quite smooth to use. 8 and then 9. Can I use the basic borders to make the cloud instead of the Whirl dies? I don't know. Well, these are the clouds that I used, this here. And for this background I just used a torn piece of copy paper. Is that what you mean? There we've got 9. So let's pop the baby to one side. And now we've got our lovely hearts. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to create, and I saw something similar to this on Instagram the other day. So I think I actually need to cut another piece of white. And I just want to have a little row of hearts. And this paper actually looks a bit denim-y, doesn't it? I think it's Mossy Meadow. No, not Mossy Meadow. Oh, I've not cut enough. How annoying. My counting went wrong, girls. Right, let's just quickly do that now. Just going to do that behind me. Here we go. 9. Right, so obviously I don't want them to stick them there, but you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So let's just measure, what do we need? So if we went with a 10.5 centimetre by 10.5, let's go with that. So this is just a work in progress. This isn't me designing something before, this is just having a play. I said 10.5, didn't I? Let's transfer our hearts to here. Oh, I quite like that. Now I want to find the kind of middle point of our piece of white, don't we? So I'm just going to 10.5 would be 5.25, wouldn't it? 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to take a pencil. Do I have a pencil? Not there. Let me grab a pencil. I finally found my flip-flops this morning as well. Today is a good day. So I'm just going to add a little mark kind of roughly in the centre. No, don't worry, we won't see this. And then I want to do 5.25 again. So we know that is the centre point roughly there. Okay, we know our card is square, so I'm going to go ahead and just put my heart on that one. Okay, now do I stick them down flat, shall we? I might need to grab a new glue. Okay, so let's pop that one roughly in the centre. Okay, and then we can pop them either side. Now, using your grid paper to get them straight, I pop that like so, and then I'm going to line up my ruler like so. So we know that's straight, yeah? And then I can put these on either side. Morning to you, Denise. Thank you for joining us, my lovely. Hope you're having a lovely bank holiday weekend. We're just doing a little bit of Monday winging it. Okay, so we know that they're nice and straight. And then to carry on, we want to make sure that our distance is kind of roughly the same. So yeah, that looks quite good, doesn't it? So actually, I thought the hearts would be quite easy to line up, but they're quite tricky because you have to get the points kind of lined up. And then the bottoms. Why, oh, why did I do this card? No, I'm joking. I'm really enjoying it. It's nice to do something a bit different. One's wonky. Okay, lovely colour hearts. Thanks, Denise. Two to go. You could use this with any kind of die shape as well, this sort of design. I got the Stitch to Be Mine heart dies and I haven't used them. They're lovely dies. They've just retired, I think, haven't they, Louise? I must admit, they're not ones that I want to get rid of. I do really like those dies. Okay, so we've got our hearts now in place. So when we pop that on our card front, oh, it's coming out quite nicely. So what I want to do now is I want to put a little bit of ribbon around that, and let's use some linen thread, shall we? I follow quite a lot of demonstrators from the Netherlands, and they've got such a lovely, lovely eye when it comes to kind of delicate colours. I'm really in awe of some of, well, all of them really. They're just amazing. Okay, so let's just turn that over. Stick that down. They are definitely a good all-rounder for sure. Okay, so let's pop that down. I want to stick this on with some dimensionals. And I'm nearly at the end of this sheet. And I want to have this as a book fold card, lovely, so that opens that way. We'll stick this down in the centre, and then we can pop this one on next. Now actually that twine is it's got quite a lot of depth to it, so I need to put this on with dimensionals as well. Oh, I get to start a new sheet. I do, Nicola, I really do. And then I get a little bit obsessive. Where do I start the sheet? Do I start in the corner, in the middle? Then do I peel them off in lines? It's just so much pressure. Okay, so now let's make sure we get these on straight. looks good to me. We can now tie our little bow. I like to tie my bows upside down. I can definitely feel my hay fever starting to kick in now that the nice weather's here. The older I get, it feels like every year you kind of flick a switch and it just kind of happens. I don't like that bow. Flick a switch and it just kind of happens. That's better with the tails going that way. Just cut them down a little bit. Like so. Oh, I do like it. And now we need a sentiment. I'm going to keep it quite simple, I think. So let's see what we've got over here, shall we? What sort of sentiment? Should we have it as a birthday card? This is the hardest bit, choosing a sentiment. I'm not going to use Biggest Wish. I need to stop using that stamp set. Got nothing on my desk either. Let's have a look. I want a little, just a simple little sentiment. So let's use Sweet as a Picture. Some really nice sentiments in here. I think I'm going to have it to a sweet friend or it's your day. Which one should we do? Let's go with let's celebrate you. Okay, like that. And I'm going to stamp that in Misty Moonlight because I think Misty Moonlight it is. Look, it's the same colour. Like a bit of Misty Moonlight. Actually, in the Give It a Whirl dies, I think there's a little label. No, let's use this. See, my mind is all over the place. Let's use these tailored tag dies. Love these dies. Right, so we're going to stamp our little sentiment. Let's celebrate you. We can then put our little tag die down. The dog going absolutely bonkers outside. It's definitely not Dave. Dave's gone on a walk. And let's run that through our die machine. Here we go. Close my ink pad. Tailored tag dies are also a new firm favourite of mine. Oh, I like that. That looks really pretty. But let's use some of the little reinforcers. And I saw a lady use the reinforcers the other day and it made them look all leathery. So I'm going to try and replicate that with some cinnamon cider. I don't really use cinnamon cider a lot, but whenever I do, I really like it. It might look rubbish, but let's see what happens when we add another colour in. So here are the little reinforcers. And do these remind anyone else of school? They do me. I quite like that little pop of colour. What do you think? I'm going to go for it. Let's live on the edge today, shall we? It is a bank holiday. Okay, so these little reinforcers are really, really useful. Like so. And actually I'm going to add that. I'm going to undo this. And then I'm going to redo my bow. Oh, morning Catherine. I didn't see that you were with us. Hope you're having a nice bank holiday. Okay, so we've got Let's Celebrate You. My goodness, that dog out there. And I'm just going to stick that down so that it doesn't keep wobbling about. Just put a little dimensional in. And there we have it. So that is our finished card front. Now obviously there's quite a lot of weight on the front, so we now need just to add something in the back. So let's grab another piece of basic white. Who knew I could do delicate? There's definitely an art form to it, I think. Okay. So that measurement there was 12 and a half, wasn't it? So let's go with 12 and a half by 12 and a half. Okay, and we can stick this in. Okay, so it still feels a little bit light, but it feels a lot better just by adding that extra layer. Okay, now I was going to use the little circle die, but obviously that didn't work. But that is my finished card of the day, and I think I'm going to leave it there this morning because it's bank holiday. I'm conscious that the weather's nice. You don't want to be sitting indoors listening to me. So just to recap, I've used the little heart die from the Give It a Whirl dies, which is just here. I've cut out 9. In the end I cut out 9, and I've layered those all onto my square sheet. Added a little bow, some linen thread, and then my little sentiment with the tag die. Okay, and that's it from me, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I do really appreciate you taking some time out of your day, especially as it's bank holiday. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day and have a good week. I've shared this morning at the top of my page when I'm going to be live this week. It's a little bit different to what it would normally be, but I do hope you can join me. I've got my first Stampin' Natter for June tomorrow night, which is a bit of a get together really. So you can join in, you can craft, you can natter, you can just sit and listen. It's up to you, but I'll share the Zoom link details tomorrow. Have a great day, and I hope to speak to you all very, very soon. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye for now.